willing to face those issues. I will say you may be weak, or maybe you have fear issues, meaning your fear of working through your issues is overwhelming you because you're looking at the whole uh, picture, and you're not willing
Mm-hmm.
to break the picture down into smaller pieces and demolish them. Let me give you guys an idea of what I mean here. I had a friend of mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
A young cat. And he came to me and asked me, he was like, man, I got so many issues in my life right now, from relationship issues to financial issues to job issues to living issues, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, man, I just need some solid advice. What can I do?
Mm-hmm.
So I told him he needs to uh, compartmentalize.
Compartmentalize.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to break shit down in a list of what's most important to what's least important. What's your
Okay.
biggest goddamn issue to your smallest goddamn issues.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started explaining it to him like that, that's when he started to realize and understand, aha, okay. So you're giving me a starting point. And I basically just told him, you can't worry about the person you see yourself as being or you think you have the potential to be. That person's always going to be there. But until you start breaking down the smaller issues, meaning having a roof over your head or your job issues or your relationship issues, again, you have to break it down and solve each problem from most important to least important. And then, only then, in my advice, can you start working on the bigger shit. So, one, you need a fucking job. Put in applications. Ask people who you know who have good jobs or who may can be able to recommend a good job. You have a roof over your head issue. Your parents told you you can come back and live with them until you get back on your feet. You have friends who have volunteered and say, hey man, you can come, kick it at my crib until you get back on your feet. So the information is there. You know what I'm saying? The resources are there, but it's because you are so your vision is so cloudy because you seeing everything as one large problem instead of breaking it down into smaller blocks, as they say. You're basically standing in your own goddamn way. So through this
So what
conversation
did he do?
of again saying that people have issues that they don't want to face about themselves, I think they may be overwhelmed. They realize
Okay.
how effed up they think they are, but in all actuality, you're really not that messed up. You just have to get over your fear and get past that shit to get to the good shit, which is meaning working on your own issues.
Okay. So with that being
All right.
said, what did he do after you had that conversation with him?
For one, he moved in with one of his closest friends. Two,
So pretty much he
yeah,
took
he
your
took my
advice.
advice.
Okay. So right there, I don't consider that a weak person because he mustered up enough backbone, balls, or whatever the case may be to work on his issues. What I'm talking about is the people who know that they have issues. Not only do they not work on their issues, but they do all types of shit to mask their issues and refuse to do anything about it. This person that you're talking about, I would not consider that person weak because it takes strength to be like, yo, look, this is what it is. What can I do? And they take that information and they do something with it. It may take a month, it may take a week, it may take a day. It doesn't matter. But the point of the matter is he took the information and worked on himself. The people I'm talking about that are weak, they know they're weak. They know they fucking up. They know they have shortcomings. But instead of sitting back and looking for help, asking for help, especially when help is right there, they're choosing to drink, choosing to do drugs, they're choosing to have erratic behavior in order to mask everything that's going on with them. I consider them people weak. I know a lot of people will disagree with me because they will say, well, you never know how this affects this person, this, that, and that. And it's like, I don't want to hear that bullshit because this society that we are in caters to that nonsense. It's like nobody gets a swift kick in the ass no more. And it's like, at what point do we stop coddling people and say, yo, you need to get off your ass. You need to do this. You need to do that. There's a way to say it to everybody in every situation. You know, everybody don't need that strong arm. You know, somebody might need that. Hey, look, you know what? I understand that you're going through blah, blah, blah. Look, how about you try this? How about you try that? How about you reach out to this person? How about you reach out to this agency? How about you do this? Everybody, of course, you got to approach everybody differently. But at the end of the day, at this point in our lives, I look at people as weak because it's like, dude, at some point, you got to sit your ass down and be like, it's not the end of if you're not on your damn deathbed, it's not the end of the world. I've been through enough shit to where I'd be like, you know what? Hey, that's what you're going through? Well, I've been through worse than that. Like, come on, man. It burns me up when people say, well, you don't know how this affects this person, that, and other. And it's like, well, shit, I didn't know how shit was going to affect me until it happened. It's not about me being stronger than someone else. It's about me saying, hey, I need help. Hey, I need to work on this. I could be a weak ass dude and be like, oh, it's too much. I don't want to do it. And then I'm living off other people because I don't want to do it. Because I know somebody else is going to take care of it for me. That's weak to me.
I get what you're saying. I don't look at it like that though. I think again, some people are just scared. They let fear overrule everything. So even though there's greatness within them, and they have all these issues, some people they just don't fucking know how to work through it. I mean, you and I have gone through goddamn war zones. You know what I'm saying? We got our fucking battle scars. We've been able to, luckily overcome that shit. But there are other people who, and again, not making excuses for them, I just feel like they don't know what fucking direction to go in. So I can't really necessarily say I think they're weak. I just think that they, one, lack the ability to mentally have a good breakthrough or to break through the unforeseen barriers they think are there. So
no, bruh.
I just don't.
How long? For the type of person that we're describing right now? How long would you allow that person to stay under your roof and be like that? And nothing was clinically wrong with them. They were not suffering from depression, like literally not suffering from depression. They was just fuck. It's just overwhelming. I don't think I can do it. But like they had no mental illness. How long are you going to let a person like that stay under your roof?
That's hard to say.
Shit.
I mean, my thing about it is, again, I would have to see where they're at. Meaning, are you putting any effort into? Are you trying to change? But
like
if they're
I said,
not,
this motherfucker This motherfucker they know full well where they are short and they refuse to do it. And it's like you have a conversation with them and you break it down like, hey, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? How about this? How about that? You know, you got to tackle the small stuff, then work on the big stuff. You have this conversation. How many times are you going to have this conversation with this person? And how long are you going to let that person be up under your roof?
I mean, the thing about it is people don't know how to fucking compartmentalize nowadays. So I would have to give them a
Shit.
specified amount of time and see what they do with it. If they're working towards it, then yes, I can work with you on the time. But if you're not working towards it, then whatever time it is I give you, your ass is gone at the end of it.
See, there it is.
But the thing about it is check this out. Right? I got this uncle who has another nephew through marriage. Okay, so his nephew came to live with him and his wife and their son. And they deliberately set this guy up in a better position, meaning, you know, they gave him a source of transportation. They helped him get in school, meaning college. They helped him, you know, out with a roof over his head, food in his belly, you know, the whole nine.
Right.
So, dude went through school, this program that he was, you know, interested in, got his program degree, I guess you can say. But at the end of it, he still didn't do shit with it. So at that point, they saw, okay, now we've helped you get to the point where you said you wanted to be. And now that you got this certification that you said you wanted, you still don't want to fucking work.
Okay.
So they end up sending his ass back home. So it's kind of like that was a waste of fucking time and effort right there.
Okay.
So he took the opportunity to
waste somebody's time.
He got his certification, but still didn't do shit with it. So that the type of person I feel like you had enough courage to go through this program, but you lacked the courage to continue after you received the knowledge that you were seeking. So can you call that person weak? Or they're just lazy motherfucker? Which one?
At the end of it, see, that's a different type of situation to me because this person has taken the time to take advantage of the help that was there. Do I consider that person weak? I consider that person ungrateful. I can't call that person weak because that person did this, that, and the other. Now, if this joker refuses to take advantage of the degree and do this, that, and the other after the fact, do I call that person weak? I don't know. I don't know if I call that person weak, but I do know if you're in my house and you don't take the time to get your shit together, because this is a stress-free zone. There's no fucking reason for you to be in my motherfucking house talking about, oh, I'm stressed. This is going on. This is going on. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? All you gotta do is like, yo, you got time to get your shit together. But if you refuse and you giving me excuses and excuses and excuses and, oh, well, I'm this and I'm that, was like, first of all, don't tell me you motherfucking depressed and you ain't seeing no fucking doctor. Why the fuck are you self-diagnosing yourself? If you think you're fucking depressed, then you need to go fucking see a doctor, period. Because if you don't, I'm gonna say you playing with me. And if you give me all type of excuses, I'm saying get off your weak ass, because I'm not trying to hear that. Don't tell me something is wrong and you don't do anything to change it. And you know, but the problem, what I'm talking about as far as weak is, you know something is wrong with you. You refuse to work on it, and you do everything within your power to try to cover it up. Those are the people that I'm calling weak. Not the people who really have some stuff going on and they're stuck. I'm talking about the people who know they got something going on. They refuse to do something about it, and they do everything in their power to make it like there's nothing wrong with them, and they're pointing the finger at other people. Those are the people I'm calling weak.
Okay. I get your point.
Because that's how my last wife was. It was like, you know, you got all this shit going on with you. Like, you carrying a whole bunch of baggage with you, and you know it. And you're not doing anything to fix it. You're masking it with all this other nonsense, and then you're pointing the finger at other people. That's weak to me. Like, come on now, get it together.
Some people, I got nothing to say. I got nothing to say. Make a valid point.
Oh,
But
man.
I still can't say I can call them weak. I'll say that they are just riddled with fucking fear to a certain extent.
What are they scared of?
I think some people are just scared of their own greatness. I'll be honest with you. I think some people.
But if you know that, okay, the people that you're talking about, shy, timid, whatever, and that's where they're stuck at. They're stuck. Got it. Cool. I'm not calling those people weak. But if you're shy, you're timid, you say you're shy, you say you're timid, and you say you're stuck, you say you don't have nowhere to, no, you don't have a clue of what to do, then you do everything in your power to do counterproductive things. And then you do stuff to cover up all of that. And then you point the finger at other people as if other people are the problem because you are where you are. That's what I'm talking about. If you shy, you're timid, you're stuck, whatever the case may be, I get it. I was that person. I was not always assertive. I was not always confident. And it was like, you know, I did stuff, but I wasn't doing anything to my fullest potential. I wasn't weak. I just had, you know, hey, some character flaws at the time, but whatever you want to call them. But had I been that person and found something other to do to not work on those things, and then I covered it up, like I faked like I was good, and you know, did everything in my power to make it not look like I was fucked up, and then I'm blaming other people for me not achieving anything, or me not stepping up for something. I would be weak. Period. There's nothing wrong with somebody being like, man, look, I don't have the confidence to go apply for this job because I don't think I'm gonna get it. But I can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
Now, if I was depressed and shit like that, I can't sit around and just be like, oh, I'm depressed. Oh, I'm depressed. Oh, I have anxiety. I can't just sit around and sit in that. Because at some point, somebody gonna get tired of my shit. Like, yo, what the fuck? You been sitting around talking about you depressed and you ain't doing shit about it. Come on now, what are you doing? If I refuse to do anything about it, and I'm telling myself and telling other people, this is where I'm at, and I'm not doing anything about it, period, at all, I refuse, I'm weak. But if I'm telling somebody this and they're giving me guidance and I take their guidance and start applying it, I'm not weak then. I've asked for the help. And I'm taking the help and bettering myself.
I still I still can't say I can agree with that, man. I'm really, and I get
Oh
what you're saying.
man.
I really do. I fully understand, overstand, and understand. But the thing about it is, again, when it comes down to people as individuals, I think that
Mm-hmm.
people are, they're on different levels, right?
Right.
So again, everyone has their own course through life, their own personal struggle, their own battles, things along that line.
Mm-hmm.
So there are just some people who, again, I feel that they're ridiculed with fucking fear. They're more scared of facing themselves than they are
Mm-hmm.
of facing their problems. Meaning, their problems is just something like you said, is just to mask everything else. When the real issue is they don't want to fucking work on themselves, or they're scared to work on themselves. So again, I can't really call them weak. I think that they refuse to take the necessary steps to help themselves, again, either out of fear or out of lack of knowledge. But I get your point. I totally understand it.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you
All
a
right, go ahead,
question.
shoot.
Your son,
Right.
your
Mm-hmm.
legacy, the dude that's gonna carry your
Right.
name, he turns 18 and he ain't doing a damn thing. And you say, son, you got to get out here, go to school, get a job. You got to do something. Pops, I can't. I'm scared. You ain't gonna look at him funny the first time he say that.
No.
You've groomed this young man from ankle high to 18, which means you paid attention to him his whole life. And he says, Pops, I'm scared to go out there and get a job. You not gonna look at him funny?
No.
Why not?
I'll give you an example, right? When we were living in Georgia, we had a two-story house.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One night, it's maybe like a Friday night. We're like, both me and my wife, we were tired as shit. So we're like, it's time to call it. So my son, who was maybe like 2 at the time, he walked when he wanted to, crawl when he wanted to, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we decided to go upstairs. He wasn't ready to go upstairs. So I told him, I was like, hey, we heading up now. You do what you want to do, but we gone. So we turned off the lights. He stayed down there for a little while. And then the next thing you know, I heard his little behind on the steps. So he got to a certain point where he just froze on the steps and he was crying and he was calling out. And I'm thinking to myself, yes, I could easily walk down to the steps where he's at, pick him up and bring him on. But the father in me, the man in me told me, no, he has to learn on his own because
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to be able to help him every time he calls out or cries because he doesn't get his way.
Mm-hmm.
So I stood back at the top of the steps, just far enough back to where he couldn't see me, but I was there.
Mm-hmm.
So after him crying for, a good 3 or 4 minutes, he realized daddy's not coming. So at that point, his little behind came up the rest of the stairs. So when he got to the top of the stairs, I was staring at him, and I'm proud of him, but at the same time, I'm like, this is gonna have to be how it's gonna have to be. I can't
Mm-hmm.
save you every time. I can't come to the rescue. You're gonna have to save yourself, son. So that's kind of like how I see, that situation. I can give you all the proper tools, all the guidance, all of my life experiences. I can give you all of that. But at the end of the day, if you're telling me you're scared, I can't rescue you. You're gonna have to go and do it on your damn own. That's how I have to answer that question. I can't look at you different because you're scared, but at the same time, I can't rescue you. I can't throw you a damn rope. You got to do it on your own.
Well, shit, you might as well get a damn job for him then if you ain't gonna look at him funny.
No, it's the thing of, I think everybody's scared at some point. I mean, our first job, look at it. The first day we walked into our job, that was uncomfortable for us, was it not?
But we walked into that job.
And that's why I'm saying.
But I'm saying, you say, son, you need to go out and get a job, go to school, or do something. He says, I can't. I'm scared. He looks you dead in your face and says, I can't. I'm scared. You're not going to look at him funny.
No, I can't look at him funny.
Man, I would box my son to hell if he ever did some shit like that, man. Fuck that bullshit. You play too damn much. Yo, you play too much.
Seriously,
no,
you can't look at somebody because they have fear in their heart and look at them differently.
Dude, I'm gonna put it to you like this. My 16-year-old son right now plays soccer like a motherfucking beast. Like a beast. That's his thing. At 18, if that joker, if me and him talking, I'm like, yo, what you gonna do now? You gonna get a job? You gonna go to school? He say, I don't want to go out there and get a job. I'm scared. I'm gonna punch him dead in his chest. How you gonna tell me? How you gonna tell me you could be on that soccer field with your team playing a bunch of dudes you don't know, risking life and limb on the soccer field, but you can't go get a job with a bunch of people that you don't know? Please get out of here with that.
But again, you got to look back
at that.
I mean, take a step back and look at it like this. The first time he stepped on the soccer field in front of an audience where people were watching him, do you not think he had fear in his heart at some point?
But he did
exactly.
He did it. He didn't say, oh, practice was one thing, but stepping out on this field with all these strangers, I just can't do it. I'm scared. Hell no. He was scared, but he went out there and did it. That's what I'm trying to say. If my son said, damn, Dad, I got to get a job, well, I say, yo, you got to get a job. I know, but I'm a little nervous, but all right, let me go apply to jobs. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. I'm cool with that. Do not look me dead in my face and say, I can't. I'm scared.
But that's the point that I'm making.
I'm going to punch him dead in his chest. I'm going to lay him out. I'm going to lay him out.
So you're saying that you're going to lay him out for having fear of doing something he's never done before?
What is it that he didn't do before?
If he's saying, I'm scared to go get a job. So you're looking at him on the soccer team. I'm going to punch you dead in your chest because you have fear of doing something you've never done before.
He didn't play soccer before until he started.
But again, he did have fear or nervousness the first time he stepped onto the field.
He was nervous to go to middle school, nervous to go to high school, but he did it. But he did it.
Exactly.
He did it. No, not exactly. I'm saying, you say, son, you got to go out there and get a job and do something. He says, I can't. I'm scared. And he doesn't do it. Period. You're not going to look at him like, yo, are you serious right now? I can understand you being nervous. I can understand you being a little scared. Interviews are intimidating. Hell, I get nervous at interviews. Still to this day. But I'll do it. Why? Because I want to achieve. Imagine if my uncle in 2006, like again, I was working for Baltimore City Health Department, making $25,000 a year. My uncle came to me and said, nah, you got to come work with me. Was I nervous? Yeah. Did I go? Yeah. Am I in a better place? Yeah. Had I stayed at that job, I would not be making what I'm making now. But if I say to my uncle, I can't, I'm scared, and I'm stuck at that old bullshit ass job, the fuck? Like, are you serious right now? Like, come on now. Like, come on. Nah. Mm-mm. Hell no. Hell no. I wish my child would say some shit like that.
So let me break this down, right? I think there's a difference. Meaning,
weak.
One is if he's saying, I'm scared, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get a job.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So we have that aspect of it. The other aspect of it is, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to try.
Nah, I said your son says, I can't, I'm scared, and he does not do it. You said you're not going to look at him funny.
I'm not going to look at him funny for having fear.
No, not fear. He says, I can't, I'm scared, and he does not do it.
But that's what I'm saying. I can't look at whether it be him or anyone else and say, I look at you differently because you have fear. I can look at you differently and say, okay, I have an issue with you because you won't try. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with having fear.
I'm not talking about fear. Everybody has fear. I'm saying you have a conversation with your son. Son, hey, you this age. It's time for you to get a job, go to school. What you going to do? And he says, I can't. I'm scared. And he does nothing. Nothing. Not has slight fear. He says, I can't. I'm scared. And he does nothing.
Then yes, of course I'm going to have an issue with that.
That's all I've been asking you the whole time.
So
that was my question. My son pulls some shit like that, I'm punching him dead in his chest. Like, again, our first jobs, yeah, we was nervous, but we got those jobs. Scared to go to school. We still went to school. Did we mess up? Yeah. Did we try again? Yeah. We didn't say, oh shit, I'm scared. I'm not doing that ever again. We probably got to the point where it's like, you know what? At this point, it's not even that important. I'm going to go do something else. I'm talking about if your child looks you dead in your face and says, I can't, I'm scared, and does nothing. Go in the room, play video games. Wait a minute. You can play video games all day, but you can't go out there and get a job because you're scared. I got a problem with that. Dead in your chest, laying you out. Laying you out. And here's the kicker to that. But the motherfucker got a driver's license and can drive. You not gonna look at him funny?
Again, if he's telling me he's not gonna try, yes, I'm going to have an issue with that.
That's all I'm trying to say.
All right.
That joker puts no effort forward talking about I'm scared. I can't. Like what do you mean? Nah. Ding ding. Ding ding.
So we want to thank you guys for tuning in on this episode. We're not quite done with this topic, but we shall return. So thank you for tuning in to the King and I Life Podcast.
And we'll holler at y'all on the next go round. Remember, You can find us on whatever podcast platform that you subscribe to. And like Sun Soul X said in the beginning, hit all them platforms. You'll find us.